I will start from here because this is the best way I've ever started an interview in my life is Windows updates.
For sure.
So, well, how's it going, guys? Where are you guys situated in right now?
We're in our hometown right now, just chilling out. Been
It's South Florida.
South Florida, yeah.
Oh, Florida. Okay, so right now here in Eastern Iowa, which is where I'm at, is it's finally 81 degrees outside after we've been dealing with cold weather for the past like 6 months, man. If you've ever been to this state around the winter time, it's just like suck city. Let's just say that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's 90 out here right now.
Oh,
So
so
it's
to you,
brutal.
it's just typical day.
Yeah, this is kind of most days it's like this. It was like this yesterday and it'll be like this tomorrow. So
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, well, real quick, because of what we're playing the new single right now, of course, "Masochistic Lovers" featuring Craig Mabbitt, and I've seen you guys recently. I was front row for you guys, hanging out in Vegas when you guys were at the Happens Festival. So I
Okay.
was able to see you guys having some fun out there.
awesome. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
so
that was
much
a
fun.
great night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
We
and
weekend.
yeah, great weekend overall. And we haven't played Vegas a lot, so it was a really cool,
yeah,
fun, very different thing. We haven't like really experienced it. This was our first time there as like adults.
Yeah.
And it was it's an experience out there.
as they say, Vegas, baby. Let's
Yeah.
go. So, well, my name is Ned, and we're obviously talking to the haunt from Florida, and because you guys are brother and sister, right?
Yes.
That's cool. So, I mean, it's awesome when you have like a family dynamic band. I mean, you have so many brothers and sisters bands. Obviously, you have like Hailstorm with RJ and Lizzie, and even if you want to go into the Pantera days with Diamond Vinny, how do you guys? I mean, how did you even come together and be like, you know what, we're family. Let's make a band in this situation.
Yeah, I wish it was that conscious of a decision, but it really kind of wasn't. We were so young that it was like she started singing and we were like, oh, she can like really sing. Even like when she was younger, it was like a little like chipmunk version of the voice that she has now. And then it was like she could really sing. I already like we had both had like taken piano lessons. I had just like kind of started playing the guitar, messing around a little bit, and it just kind of like happened. We just
Yeah.
started like playing. I like genuinely there was no day where we were like,
Let's do it.
we're gonna make a band.
Yeah.
It was just like
It all happened in stages.
we were just
so
adults and we were just in a band. And we were like, okay, I guess we're gonna
Okay.
do it. No, I'm saying like by the time we were adults, it was already
it
like
just
we were
like
just
happened.
yeah.
Yeah. And we have everything, like all the members happened in stages too. It wasn't like we're forming a band and we have all the
It was just vocals and guitar for like 2 years, and then we added drums for like a year, and then bass.
Yeah.
And it kind of just like it built itself. It felt like really natural progression, and
Hmm.
the people we had around us, the scene in South Florida was really like amazing with like alternative and grunge and even punk at the time, and yeah, kind of just came together with
Yeah.
like some friends of ours, and yeah, it was really like I wish we remembered it kind of more than we do because I feel like there was no like turning point. It just kind of slowly happened.
Where would you say was like kind of the liftoff point? Like, what, a few years ago? Are you guys pretty fresh, or has this been
10
in the
years
works for
ago.
a while? 10 years. Oh my
Yeah, we started playing together out at shows in Miami and Fort Lauderdale 10 years ago.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, man. Yeah, it's
But the band really started to see, we were a band for about 4 or 5 years before we put out any music. The
mhm,
band really started to get some traction once we put out our first EP.
yeah.
And immediately after that, we had our EP release party, which was like our first sold out show we had
Mhm.
ever done.
That's
And then it was like immediately after that, we went on tour with Palais Royale twice in Europe, once in the US, and then everything kind of spiraled from there.
yeah. I mean, and it's I've never been a firm believer of the whole overnight success thing. It's only one thing you need, and it's just like
Right.
it takes hard work, and you guys are definitely one of those that have been, like you said, been grinding at it for 10 years and moving on up. And now obviously you've got a single hanging out on the air too. And even with Craig Mabbitt from Escape the Fate, how did you get was that like a label thing that was like, hey, we can get Craig on this, or did you guys like know him personally, or how did
Oh
that?
yeah, so Kevin Thrasher produced the song, who used to
Yeah.
play guitar for Escape the Fate.
Mhm.
Um, and so that was kind of the initial connection. And he kind of like linked us up, and he loved the song, and it was just it all kind of came together pretty naturally after that.
Yeah.
We didn't even meet him until we went out to flew out and did the music video with him in Phoenix. So
Mhm.
it was like the first time we were like all hanging out together, and it was really cool to get to like meet him in person and stuff like that because
Yeah.
the song had already uh we already heard his version of it, and it was like we were so excited once we got that first version back. We were like, this is gonna be so sick.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and what's great is that right now you're seeing a lot of let's just say women-fronted rock bands, which is so refreshing and so amazing to see now. And seeing another one come up from the ranks as well too is so inspiring. And again, you have bands out there like Hailstorm in this moment, and there's one Black on Blue that I'm following right now as well too. So seeing you guys do this as well too. Do you have any challenges when it comes to that? I mean, especially in the family dynamic, like do you pull the big brother attitude if someone's hitting on your sister or sister? Are you just like, nope, you?
Yeah, it depends. I'm definitely very protective, and it's funny. We kind of since she was because we've been playing out since she was 11,
Sure.
so it's kind of been for multiple reasons that we're always kind of constantly looking out for her in these rock clubs and stuff like that. And all the band members kind of have a very like, bodyguard mentality as well. And it's kind of always been that way where like everyone's hawking her at all times. But it's yeah, it is obviously, also one of those things where she's an adult and
Oh yeah.
I want her to be able to live her life and be happy and, do her thing. So I'm not like over the top, but, I am always looking out and trying to do whatever I
Yeah.
can.
See, I've got that mentality. I have two daughters, one that's 4, one that's 2. And when they come home from daycare and they're just like, well, this one was mean to me. I'm like, I'm on my way.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm coming to beat you down. I'm on. But so, and I got to ask you a question. So I love to hear what kind of inspirations that you have behind your voice. Like what were the ones that you were listening to that kind of got you into it?
Yeah. I think I've always been drawn to like bluesier and jazzier vocals. So like Amy Winehouse and older than that, old blues singers like Ella Fitzgerald and Billie Holiday.
Oh, cool.
That's always been what I kind of vocally take my inspiration from and resonate with the most. So yeah, blues.
Absolutely. And Max, how about you as well too, man?
Yeah, for me, it was always kind of like
and wait, actually, we're gonna circle back around because obviously Stevie Nicks, that's like one of my biggest.
Yeah.
Not blues, but transcending nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's cool because everyone assumes that when you're in a rock band or whatever, however you want to describe it as, when you're in like that rock genre, it's like, well, clearly you only have to love this amount of artists. And it's like,
yeah,
man.
No, I think the bands that don't are actually way better.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's such a different inspiration and a different style.
And a more unique sound than just like I think we would just have the same rock band over and over again if we were just coming from.
Yeah, it becomes incestuous. You have to take references from all different things. And when I'm producing songs or when we're writing stuff, it's always like these little references to all the types of music that we really love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, even in the like early stages of our band when we were playing out, we were raised, our parents are both from New York. And they were younger, and so we were kind of raised on like a lot of 90s rock, but mostly 90s hip hop.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
It was like, that was kind of like we don't rap, but it was always kind of one of our biggest influences was the intensity, the start and stop, doing a lot with like empty space and
yeah, production wise, just
yeah,
at least in our first batch of your production,
right. And so that was funny. People like when we used to tell people that, they're like, you know what? I can kind of even hear that, even though our music sounds nothing like that.
We had some trap beats.
A little bit, yeah. We had a little bit in back then. But yeah, for me, I kind of always grew up listening to like my favorite bands growing up was Green Day because I was like caught it right when I was like conscious enough to catch music and like listen to what I wanted to listen to on my iPod Shuffle. Yeah. It was like, American Idiot by Green Day.
Oh my gosh, you're speaking my language.
Yeah, I was a huge Green Day. I was very big into like pop punk, but mostly like Green Day, Blink-182, Paramore was one of my favorite bands. I love, and then as I got older, and the White Stripes were like a huge inspiration for us. Yeah. Obviously, we thought back then, like everyone else did, that they were siblings. And
yeah, it's like, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this just got weird, but we loved them. We saw Jack White in concert right after like the White Stripes had broken up and he started doing his solo stuff, and it was just like mind bending.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of, and it was funny because that was kind of the bridge genre. Him and his whole little Third Man Records world was kind of like the bridge genre. Them and like the Black Keys I'm sure he wouldn't like me saying that, of kind of combining the bluesy style of vocalist that she liked and the kind of punk rock, garage rock stuff that I really liked. And
Yeah.
then the first concert I had ever gone to was Nine Inch Nails, so I feel like industrial was kind of a really big part of what we
For
loved
sure,
as
still
well.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a
Yeah.
huge.
Which Nine Inch Nails is doing the soundtrack to the new Tron movie coming out.
I know.
And I
I
was
know.
like, "Whoa, that's cool." I'm a
So
big movie video game guy, so I see
yeah, no,
this
me too.
coming up, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, I'm my whole right arm is covered in video game tattoos, so
Oh, sick. Oh,
it's
that's awesome.
Star Fox, Zelda,
The
you name it.
Nintendo shit. Yeah, yeah, that's
Oh, dude,
awesome.
I'm covered. So it's cool that you mentioned Green Day because I'm a 37-year-old guy, and Green Day's American Idiot when it came out, I mean, hit so hard. I was just graduating high school, and it was like that album that kind of feel like gave me an identity for like 2 straight years. The red
Yeah.
skinny tie, the
Yeah.
sound. The sound of it, and just like songs like Jesus of Suburbia, and even at the end of the album, What's Her Name is one of my favorite tracks. And
Right.
like everyone knows of all the big ones, but that one little song at the end of this album, I'm just like, why did this never become a single? It should.
No, exactly. Every song on that album was a single. You know what I mean? And it's just like they had to pick the three or four that they wanted to
Right.
like actually do. And that's kind of how we approach music too, is like there should be no album tracks. You
Mm-hmm.
know, there should be every song should feel like this could be the single. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
kind of how we approach everything. And I think that that comes again from the intensity of the 90s rock, the 90s hip hop. Everything is just like we want each song to independently be the best that it could possibly be, you know?
I love me some 90s hip hop. I have a list on my Amazon, whatever, of just, it's called Ned's Jams. And it's
Yeah.
just straight up 90s hip hop and pop and such.
Yeah.
Like, heck yes, I'm throwing some MC Hammer, throwing some Coolio.
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it just brings me back to just sitting in my, like, my tube TV that was like 12 inches large and just playing like Star Fox on there. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
jamming to Coolio. I'm good, man. That's all we needed. We didn't need social media. We didn't need any of that yet. And now in today's world, we need to have TikToks and Snapchat and
Oh
what.
yeah, you're telling us.
I'm starting to sound like the old guy here. I don't know what I'm doing.
I think we all have an equal level of disdain for it, but
Yeah.
it is the world now.
But we got to do what we got to do. I mean, even
Exactly.
right now, we're talking on a Zoom call. Back
Right.
it would just be on the phone, and it's like, well, we got to do video, we got to post it.
Exactly.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So what's happening with the Haunt next? Like, what is next for you guys? Obviously, you got the big single right now, Masochistic Lovers, which we are playing pretty heavy on Rock 108, and people are starting to grab onto it, which is awesome.
That's
So happy to hear that. That's so amazing.
And when I saw you guys in Vegas, I'm like, there was two bands that I really really enjoyed. It was you guys and the Nocturnal Affair. Those two, you guys, I'm just like, God, these are the ones that we're watching this
That's awesome.
weekend, man. It was too much fun.
Yeah.
On top of White Castle up the street, which was cool.
Yeah. We so yeah, I mean next for us, we're getting ready right now. We're actually in rehearsals, getting ready to leave for our tour.
Mhm.
We're going to Europe in June.
Our first headlining tour.
Yeah.
First
So
tour
we're
in Europe.
excited. That's exciting because
Yeah.
we've been there a lot of times, but opening.
Right.
So this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what for us.
Yeah, we're playing first time playing all the festival, playing Download, Rock for People, Jarrah on Air.
Oh
So
man.
yeah, we're getting excited. And just kind of like, finishing up all the loose ends and getting, the full headlining set in order for all that stuff. And
Hmm.
super, super excited for all of that. And then, yeah, I mean, we can't, announce anything yet, but there's going to be some really cool stuff going on towards the end of the year. And, it's going to be pretty exciting.
The fact that you're playing Download is huge, man. I mean, that's one of the festivals I've always wanted to go to, and
Yeah.
it's across seas, so it's a really expensive trip for me.
It is, yeah.
We got a chance to go last year, and because the band we were touring with
Mhm.
was playing,
Oh no,
we got a little taste of it.
Yeah.
I see videos all the time. I'm like, I want to go to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally last year was like the Mud Fest. So they say every other year. So we're hoping that this year, but we're going to be prepared. We're going to have our,
We have rain boots either way.
knee-high rain boots regardless.
Yeah.
It'll be like Green Day '94 at Woodstock, man, where they're
Yeah.
chucking mud at everything.
That's exactly, I'm not joking. That's what it
That
was
was
like
the
last
vibe,
year.
yeah.
It was unreal.
Oh
Then-
man. Absolutely. So, dudes, I can't. Well, actually, I always love asking this question because it's always I always get different answers, and we'll call it a day because I know you guys probably got things you need to do. Enjoy that Florida weather. But
Yeah.
Before the haunt, and obviously you're pretty young, and you guys have been doing this for over 10 years now. What regular, quote unquote, regular job, or still have maybe, before you guys started kind of getting head first into the rock music?
So while we were like a small band, local band, coming up, we didn't really leave for that. We put out the first EP when I was a senior in high school, or like right after I graduated.
Yeah.
I think it was on the day of like my prom. So it was like right when I was graduating. And then there was like a little bit of time before anything kind of started taking off. So I was enrolled in college. I was studying biology, and I was going to be a marine biologist.
Oh,
so
yeah. Oh, yeah.
that's what I was in school for. And then, I did 1 year of that, and then I kind of dropped out and then never went back.
Yeah. Left for a tour.
Yeah, we dropped off for the Palais Royale tour.
But I, on the other hand, I don't think I've ever known anything else.
Oh, yeah.
I never enrolled in college.
Yeah, you were 11 when we started.
It's been my whole life. And then when that tour happened, I think I was a freshman or a sophomore.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. I would just take my schoolwork, go, and I knew that I wasn't going to do anything else. So, and I think that's great. I knew it from such an early age because I still have friends right now that are trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, which we are still too. But
it's so funny that
we have a clear.
One of my best friends literally was just texting me about like my fiance is like studying to be a doctor, and they were texting me about is she studying to be a doctor? Like, what's the path for that? My age, you know what I mean? So it's like a lot of people like
still figuring it out.
Yeah, to have like what you want to do locked in from such a young age means that you have a lot of extra time to actually get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think anything else I would have done is music related. I really like theater and like I don't think there's anything I would have done that doesn't involve
either music or fashion.
Singing. Yeah, fashion. But that's something I think that ties into this. That's going to happen.
And I can tell from your performance in Vegas, you definitely have that theatrical kind of aspect to you too. I mean, you're not just standing with a microphone on stage. You're moving.
Yeah. No, we're putting on a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're lucky I don't throw some jazz hands in there. Yeah.
We're all lucky.
I'm a theater guy as well too. I'm Anastasia, so I know.
He is too. He always stays quiet, but we're both theater kids. So
something about it. Again, it takes a special mind, and I'm again a theater guy and also choir. I'm a singer as well too. It's
nice.
You're mixed in there. It's just something about it, and then you
doesn't leave ever either. So
it never does, and it just stuck it in. And I got into the radio aspect of it, but I'm like, I still wanted to be involved in music. I still wanted to do this somehow. And, and here we are, and here you guys, and we're all the amalgamation of that.
Right. Exactly.
Well, cool guys. Well, it's such a pleasure hanging out with you, and I can't wait to see you guys on tour. I'm looking forward to more singles from you dudes. And I call everyone dudes, by the way. So just
don't worry.
No worry.
And looking forward to more from the Haunt. You can keep listening to Rock 108, and you can hear the Haunt on there with Masochistic Lovers. And anything else you want fans to know that is coming up, or obviously heading out the download zone.
Yeah.
I mean, just follow the Instagram, Facebook at We Are the Haunt to stay up to date.
Some shit soon. And thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Well, till then, folks. I'm gonna go get some White Castle. We don't have White Castle here.
We don't either.
We don't have it.
Oh God! But you have Waffle House, though, right?
Not actually. Not as south as us. We don't have Waffle House.
Florida.
Where do we live? How do we?
We're like out here in the jungle. We don't have any of the chains.
The
swamp. Yeah. We don't have like any of the good chains.
That's it. And you know what? And the local stuff is better anyway. And you guys are in the swamps. I'm in the cornfields. So
perfect combo.
I'll gladly take the swamp any day. All right. Well, good guys. Thank you guys so much. And I'll talk to you hopefully soon.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Later.